All right, it's time to piss people off. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on Rangers Central. And today we are continuing our breakdowns of free agent slash trade targets here for the New York Rangers to potentially acquire. And we're going to be staying away from top six forwards, top four D-men, stuff like that. Today we are going to focus on a bottom six guy to potentially help the Rangers in Michael Amadio. Before we jump into everything, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that other stuff. Turn on your notifications too so you know when I upload or go live. Just want to let everyone know too that if you are a member, you are getting first access to this video. So if you're already a member, then good, you already got to see the video. And if you didn't know, well, now you know that you get to see videos in advance, which you'll get to see a sneak peek then of the second video that's going up later today or tomorrow. I'm recording this the day before, but regardless, you'll get to see the other video if you want to. And if you aren't a member, you could join. Link is down there to join, or not the link, just click the join button down below. But anyway, let's talk about this. Mikey Amadio, a little bit of an interesting piece because he's a guy that's kind of put himself more on the map ever since being with Vegas, because shocker, who doesn't? A guy that played pretty decent when he was on the LA Kings. Not like he was terrible there, just a bottom six guy. Ended up going to the Ottawa Senators and then playing some time with the Maple Leafs, which I didn't even know about. Of course, the Maple Leafs give up this type of guy. First year in Vegas, not terrible. 18 points, 11 goals, 7 assists for 53 points. Then you started to see him take a jump in offensive production. I don't know entirely if it's a line mate thing, because he was playing with William Karlsson, who's obviously a pretty solid piece in himself. And then he was also playing with Brett Howden, because of course. But back-to-back 27-point seasons, 16 goals, 11 assists the first year. Second year, 14 goals, 13 assists in more games played. And then the playoffs, the guy produced that year that they went to the Stanley Cup Finals. In 16 games, got 10 points, and you might look at that and say, well, he didn't play every game. And to that I say, yeah, fair argument. And then 2 points in 4 this year. So a little bit hard to gauge there. And a guy that's, one, deals with injuries, and two, is out of the lineup every now and then in terms of, scratches and stuff. But when you look at the 5-on-5 stuff, 11 5v5 goals for him this season. And for a team like the Rangers that struggle 5-on-5, the fact that this guy would be a bottom six forward for you and would actually be one of your top 5v5 performers, both sad and also incredible if the Rangers decide to go this route, because of the fact that it would improve, of course, their 5-on-5 production. In terms of, I do want to see his shooting percentage, because that to me does tell a lot too, to see if things, might be sustainable. And you could question if a 12 shooting percentage is sustainable. 16.2 is never sustainable, but it dropped down and he still put 14 goals. So he is a guy that still could put up for you a good amount of production there. You get to the all three zones card and pretty much everything in the blue that you want to see in terms of rebounds, shots off high danger passes, deflections, a guy that could get to the front of the net, which is something that the Rangers need in their forward group. They need guys that are going to get to the front of the net and draw penalties. I'm not sure what his, I need the Sea Jets miscellaneous stats right now, but regardless, a guy that plays good on both sides of the puck there. That's one of the most crucial things. And then you look at this, which, for this chart, if you're not sure what it is, this is the scoring chances chart. So, scoring chances per 60, scoring chance assists per 60. Guys in the top right quadrant, which is a very good company, because I don't know if you know this Jack Eichel kid, but he's pretty sick, and he is not too far off from being in that territory. I mean, look at the players that he's in company with. Daniel Sprong, which we'll get to at some point. David Pastrnak, Kyle Connor, Foley, another guy we might talk about. Austin Matthews in this range, a little bit further off. Phil Peedle, interesting. Guy like Barkov, Philip Forsberg, Kevin Fiala, like he is in pretty good company for a guy that's going to play third line minutes potentially for the Rangers. I did actually want to see, was there any other charts looking at, taking a look at maybe the shots and passes one, which, see, still not bad, still not bad company for him in that regard. And then in terms of entries, maybe entries is one we want to look at here as well. And again, in the top right quadrant, a guy that's good on zone entries, another thing the Rangers desperately need. You look at the evolving hockey model, not really that impressive stuff when you look at it here, in terms of, how far up. Obviously here though, pretty good stuff with how high up he was defensively, in the purple bluish. But you look at this card and it tells you a different story, that he's very good on both sides of the puck. It tells you that He gets more goals than he should be getting, which makes sense given the shooting percentage. And then pretty much his defense is up to par. A guy that could kill penalties a bit, doesn't necessarily do it too efficiently, but you could send him out there. I think he'd be a good fit on power play too. And the contract, he's projected to get his 3.2 for 4 years. And I think that everybody has the same thought in unison. Barclay Goodrow 2.0. And to that I say, honestly, touche. And that's where I do have a little bit of hesitancy with a guy like Amadio and going out and getting him. Because if you wanted to lower the AAV, it would probably be a Goodrow type deal where it's 6 years. But you're probably looking more in the 2.5, 2.6 ballpark versus 3.2, which you could definitely stomach that a lot more. But it is also risky to give a bottom 6 guy 6 years at the end of the day. But for a guy like Amadio, and with the cap inflation, that's the price that you might have to pay for a guy like that. Do I think it's a smart contract to give out? Probably not. Would he help this team a lot? Probably. And I know people are not going to be happy with Kaka on the first line, but he got the contract. I just have this weird feeling that they're going to trot him out there. They'd have 3.8, keep the change to sign a left shot D-man, whether it's keeping Lindgren or signing someone else. They could obviously move a couple of guys to, flex, make the cap a little more flexible. But I think Amadio would be a very welcome addition. I think that line would actually be pretty solid with him, Hedl, and Cooley if they decide to go that route. Obviously, I do have my questions with Hedl given his health still, but if they went with the Amadio route, I really don't think it would be a bad idea. The only thing that I do worry about is the Rangers doing the typical thing that we've seen them do time and time again, where Kaapo Kakko's struggling and then Amadio's up on the first line, which really don't want to get to that territory. But I also think if they could find a way to, let's just send Edstrom down, put Cooley down on the fourth line, get Amadio there, Kakko there, have that as your third line, find a way to get a top line right winger, which that you'd have to do a lot of gymnastics. You'd have to move Goodrow and Trouba for sure if you wanted to go that type of route. Then you would probably ideally, just say they bought out Goodrow there, and then you would go the route of bringing up again, where did I do them? Adam Edstrom, have him as your 4C per se, and then you still don't have that much, but because again, you'd have to move Trouba and Goodrow if you want to get a legit top line right winger there to play with Kreider and Zibanejad, even though I think they should be broken up. But you could always go that route, and I think that this would be actually a very decent little bottom 6 here if they wanted to explore that, or if I just think they need to get a little bit more experience down there in the bottom 6 without overspending though, which that's where my worry is that in this economy, with the way the NHL is with bottom 6 guys, are they going to be able to do that? Because I really don't want to see a Tyler Pitlick 2.0 situation, Nick Bonino, stuff like that, which, again, wasn't terrible because they were able to cut bait with those guys, but at the same time, you might have to take a risk to get a better player than those type of guys. So that's my, little bit of argument for and against Amadio. So again, love the player, love the fit in terms of how he would be roster-wise. Contract-wise is where I definitely have my questions with a guy like Amadio, but I think player-wise, he would be an ideal fit and one of the perfect fits for this team. But let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. Would love to hear from you guys. Don't forget to leave a like if you haven't. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live, and I'll see you guys in the next one.